Hello, Furkan here again. Sorry for making this introduction rather long, but since this is a game which I hold pretty close to my heart, because it's one of the few games I played at my older age vigorously, I just want to let you know that I may get somewhat nostalgic over the course of this game. And I won't do much talking in this game at some points because there is a lot of cutscenes with a lot of important talking, so hope you enjoy, and I will be quiet now for some time. Thank you.
Paris, city of love, romance, and dreams. So they say. I used to say it too, but ever since that day, the day of the murder, I've always associated my beloved Paris with death. I was at home having a bath when my editor called.
Collard, get your ass over to the Palais Royal now. You got an interview. With Pierre Carchon. Yes, the Pierre Carchon. No photos, so leave your gear at home. He asked for you personally. Don't ask me why. Anyhow, this could be big, so if he makes a pass, don't forget. Just smile, say yes, and keep taking notes.
So charming and so very apt. Pierre Carchon was a media king, a national hero, and one of the most infamous adulterers in Europe. He and his wife Imelda were just one step down from royalty. Whoa, I hate mimes, but unless you humor them, they don't go away. Here I was, the palace of the Media King and the Ice Queen. I pressed the doorbell and set in motion a chain of events which would change my life forever.
Yes? What is it?
Madame, my name is Nico Collard. I'm here to see Monsieur Carchon.
Come up, we're on the first floor.
Madame Carchon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm sure.
The Ice Queen was certainly living up to her reputation. Will you be staying for the interview?
Mademoiselle, I know little of my husband's business affairs, and I care even less. I certainly have no intention of watching him pore over yet another pretty little journalist.
Pretty? You're too kind, madame.
The talented and very beautiful Mademoiselle Collard. Such a pleasure to meet you at last.
Monsieur Carchon, I am honored.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Call me Pierre, please. But I do not flatter you idly. I was a friend of your father. He was a great man.
My father, he never mentioned.
He and I were very close. And then his death. So tragic. I must... Imelda, your damned cat's in my study again. Another Ming vase, I suppose. Excuse me for one moment, my dear girl.
You journalists are getting younger each year.
Perhaps it's the rest of the world getting older, madame. That was no cat.
My God, what? Monsieur Carchon!
He's dead. I must call the police. You'd better stay here.
There was a man. It was the mime. Do you think he...
Well, I believe we can rule out suicide, don't you?
No wonder they called her the Ice Queen. She would have been top of my list of suspects if I hadn't seen the attacker myself. And if I hadn't come across a couple of murders just like this already. One of the most important men in Europe murdered. And here was I, Nico Coulard, alone at the scene of the crime. Should I wait for the cops? Or start my own investigation? It was a no-brainer.
Well, that was the opening cutscene for Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars. As said, with all the cutscenes here, there's rather much being talked in them, so that's why I don't talk over them.
A piece of glass had been cut out of the pane. This was a professional job. I didn't want to cut myself and leave blood on the glass.
While the game is going on,
like
because
my DNA to
at
myself.
every interaction there's always something being said, etc. And all of this helps you boil on and move on to plot and understand it.
The killer must have used a ladder to reach the window. He was long gone.
Good game. I remember playing the original back in the early 2000s. This part we're seeing here was not part of the game back then. That
Mimes and
part will
guns don't usually
come,
go
but
together, but I had an idea that this was no
right now we will just be
mime.
playing this
I'd
part
come
for a
across
bit
this murderer
longer.
before and written about him. The costume
Then I will
killer,
have to make a
at least
second
that's what
part
I called
if
him.
this is something that people like doing,
It was
because
one of my hair clips.
this is an
favourite
old
in
game.
fact.
I remember
It must
playing
have
it
fallen when I was
vigorously in my
knocked
old
down.
young days.
I closed his eyes. It was the
Very
least
young
I could do
days.
for the poor fellow.
Hmm.
Some people hate searching corpses
So,
for clues. Me, I'm
but
okay with it.
this is a game
Reminds me of
which
an old boyfriend.
holds a very special place for me,
Carson
so
had been shot.
if I get nostalgic, well, I'm sorry for those who don't
In
like
his
it, but
pocket, I found a ticket stamped
Tough
Battle
deal.
de la Conciergerie. Taking the ticket meant I tampered with the evidence. There was no going back now.
gonna have to cut it here soon, since the introduction is
The police could tell
well,
her that
rather
somewhere
long.
there were clues to the murder, and I needed to find them.
And I hope you all have enjoyed the video so far.
I reckoned that
I wish you all a
glass
good
might just
time.
turn out to be useful.
Good evening, all that rest.
Aha! Nico, you are just so damn good at this stuff. Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because there was something going on here, and I had to get answers before the cops arrived. And hey, she'd been rude to me, so she had it coming.
And I'll take care, people. I will catch you next time. I will keep asking what you want to see next, so have share ones and cheers.